Another day of sunshine in San Diego, but with some not so comfortable temperatures for some parts of the county.
Some people are working up a sweat. We have team coverage of today's conditions. CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal is out in the elements in East County, and Sean Stiles nice and cool in the studio tracking the heat wave.
It is indeed nice and cool. In fact, they keep it very cool in here because of all the equipment. But in much of San Diego, we're seeing a warm up unless you're along the immediate coastline. Now, today is that transition day where we really see things jump up a little bit. It's tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, where the really hot temperatures make their way in. The National Weather Service has this heat advisory in place until 6 p.m. on Friday. We are in the midst of it right now as it began at 11 a.m. Another part of this heat wave is how far it extends all the way up into the Santa Barbara area, and we do have a wind advisory now. The high wind warning came down, but still some very windy conditions, and we're going to see winds in our East County as this area of high pressure builds in. Record temperatures, Santa Ana winds, and low humidities. We're talking about coastal temperatures 15, maybe 25 degrees above average. The same for the inland microclimates. You might say even 30 degrees warmer out there. Right now, we're kind of hedging our bet on that and going with the 25. And then we start to see the winds pick up. And then by the time we get to the weekend, we start to see things cool down, and dramatically so as we get into Sunday. Even a chance of some drizzle on Tuesday. Here's a look at your temperatures around the county. Take a look at them. And as you can see, it's very pleasant along the coastline. But in the East County, we're already into the low 90s, a dramatic difference in atmosphere because of the sea surface temperatures being in the upper 50s to low 60s. So 92 in Ramona, 87 in El Cajon, Alpine, 88 in Poway. And it looks like those temperatures have peaked. Now, as you take a look towards the coastal area, this is a live shot from Mount Soledad, and I'm not going to put up the current conditions first because I want you to see this fog bank that is sitting along the coastline immediately on the beach. You come 200 yards off the beach and skies are clear, obviously. Currently in the downtown area, San Diego International Airport, 68 degrees. Light winds out of the south-southwest. So as I said, if you're along the coastal strip, you're going, really, Sean, is it going to be that hot? Well, here's those clouds we were talking about. We'll pull back out and look at the big picture here. You can see this dome of high pressure, how it's bulging in over the eastern Pacific. And as we take a look at the computer model and put it into motion, watch how the high pressure ridges in over the Great Basin. That's where we start to see that circulation around the high pressure, those offshore winds, the compressing air, which dries things out. And then by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, low pressure digs in over the Great Basin out of the Pacific Northwest, and we cool down. But for 2 days here coming up, we're going to see some very hot and windy conditions. Take a look at these winds as they build in. We're talking about some very strong gusts, even up to 40+ miles per hour across the mountains. And in the passes where the air is squeezed, we could see 50-mile-per-hour winds. So if you're heading eastward along Interstate 8 towards Arizona or just into, say, the eastern part of Southern California, it'll be very windy. And then up the I-15 corridor, also up over the passes there. So keep that in mind, up over the Grapevine and or into, say, the Temecula area. Things start to die down as we get towards the weekend as the winds diminish and the heat goes away. Take a look at your 8-day microclimate forecast tomorrow. Pretty toasty along the coastline. 68's the average, so 85 is almost 20 degrees above average. Certainly on Friday will be above average. And look at those temperatures in inland microclimates. We're talking about near 100-degree readings possible. And then the cool down comes as we get into Saturday and Sunday. For you folks in the deserts, it is the deserts after all, but it is April, so it shouldn't be quite this hot. Upper 90s. Mid to upper 80s in the mountains. But in the East County, our Kelly Hessedal has been out there. Not so hot right now, Kelly, but if you were there 24 hours from now, you'd be singing a different tune.
Yeah, you know, right now the temperature gauge says about 83 degrees right now. I think my phone says that it's about 90 degrees here in Santee. The people I talked to out here today, though, don't really seem to mind. They say, bring on the heat.
Well, we're used to it, honestly. So I was kind of happy that way we can come out here because it's better than windy and cold.
It's kind of nice. It's a little bit change of pace. We've been having some gloomy weather and had some rain last week and so.
So there you have it. People out here like the hot temperatures. It feels like summer. So lots of families came out here to Santee Lakes today, letting the kiddos run around outside and enjoy the sunshine. The little ones had a good time splashing around. Every now and then we did get a nice breeze. In the shade, it actually doesn't feel too bad. But yeah, it's definitely hot out. But as Sean mentioned, it's going to be hotter tomorrow as well as Friday. So you always want to take all the precautions, staying hydrated, wearing light clothing, try to avoid being in the sun for too long during the peak hours of the day. Santee Lakes will be a popular spot over the next few days. It will likely get very crowded. The moms, dads, and grandparents we talked to today were just grateful that they live nearby.
We love it here. I mean, we go here almost all the time. We do the boating thing over here, fishing.
Oh, I think this is really enjoyable for the children to come and play and have a good time and watch my granddaughter run around and be happy. That's what it's all about.
And another reminder, just keep an eye on your pets as well. If you can keep them indoors, do that. If you've got air conditioning, or at least keep them in the shade, keep them hydrated. Also, of course, if you have elderly neighbors, make sure you check on them over the next couple of days. Heather and Carlo, or Heather and Jesse?
Yeah, Kelly, you just showed us all out there. I mean, what do the people out there think are they going to be doing over the next couple of days, or are they kind of waiting for a cool down of any
Right.
kind?
Well, you know, the kids out here are on spring break, so everybody that I talked to today that has kids talked about just keeping them busy over the next couple of days. One woman said they already had plans to go to Sesame Street, they were going to go to SeaWorld, and then maybe the zoo the next day. But she said just getting the kids out of the house, keeping them busy will be key over the next few days.
Oh,
And
my
playing in the
goodness.
water.
Yes, keeping them nice and cool. I think this calls for an ice cream treat. For you too, Kelly.
Yes, absolutely.
Kelly, thanks.